Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome. It's Tuesday night, and it's time for our weekend recap. Here's the time when we talk about all the places and things we did and how we interacted with local businesses and artisans over the course of the past week. Hope you've had a great week. Hope you had a fun weekend, or a productive weekend, or a good weekend. Hope you had anything except a bad weekend. That being said, I know there's been some people who have had some challenging things happen over the course of the past weekend and the last couple of days. Um, there's always next week. Anyway, let's jump right into it and let's talk about um, all the things and stuff we did over the course of the past week. So, yes, I perpetually have back problems. I, I just do. My back just hurts. Um, Thankfully, Slayton Chiropractic is able to help me with that and make it so that my back doesn't hurt or doesn't hurt as much as it did before. I think that she does a great job for me. I also think that there's limits to what that she is going to do. She's not a miracle worker, and there are just, I mean, she can kind of put things where they're supposed to be, but my body's stupid and it doesn't want to stay there. So, I probably need to do some of that exercise stuff on the, you know, outside of that in order to, uh, you know, to benefit that. And I don't do nearly as much of that as I should. Um, that's something for me to work on. But yeah. Anyway, moving right along. Saturday morning, like most Saturday mornings during the summer, Steel and Stitches was out at the Paragould Farmers Market and got all set up with all of the crochet stuff. By the way, I would just like to go on record and say there is a skein of yarn up there that likes to jump off of the shelf and attack me. It's not my fault. I swear I didn't touch it, but it likes to attack me. So you're my witness that it's not my fault. Anyway, Steel and Stitches set up at the Paragould Farmers Market on Saturday morning and got there bright and early, got set up, got everything together, got all the crochet stuff out and the bow ties out and the hair bows out and got ready to go. And opening bell rang at 8 o'clock. I had lots of. It was not as busy as it has been. There's kind of been this trend at the beginning of the season. Um, the market was the farmers market was way up here. They had tons of vendors and tons of people, and there's just been this kind of this slow, gradual decline. And that's kind of and part of that is normal. You do get when you first open something up, you do get a lot of interest and curiosity, people coming out just to see what's there and what's what. You also have this thing that happens over time is that it gets stinking hot outside. And when it's hot, nobody else wants to go outside. So that tends to taper participation and make the excitement about the farmers market not quite what it was, earlier in the season. That being said, the farmers market is a great place to go. It's a great place to be. I definitely recommend it. You can find lots of cool stuff there. There's lots of fresh produce that's available, lots of homemade items, and lots of cool stuff. So definitely, if you get a chance, go out and visit your local farmers market. Be that the one here in Paragould, the one in Jonesboro, or the one wherever you are. So go see your local farmers market. I'll tell you right now that the price that you pay for the items may not be less expensive than what you're going to find at your local grocery store. In some cases, it may be. In some cases, it may not be. But I promise you that the quality of the products that you will get at your local's farmers market will exceed that that you're going to receive at your local grocery store. Um, it's going to taste better. It's going to be fresher. Um, so you definitely are getting the value for the money that you're spending. So some of the people, oh, yeah, let's not forget Shadrack's, because it would not be a week if we didn't have at least one or three trips to Shadrack's. Um, Saturday morning after we got set up for the farmers market, got everything in place. Right before the opening bell, I ran over to Shadrack's, grabbed us some refreshers, and took those back so that we could have those for some hydration and some refreshment while we were going through the farmers market that morning. And uh, once the farmers market opened, I was able to get out and do a little roaming around, and I stopped by our friends at H&H Produce, and I picked up some green bell peppers and some uh, grape tomatoes. Now, here's the funny thing, and I'm looking at my notes to make sure that I don't forget anything. Um, as I tell you about all the things that I got, you're going to notice a recurring theme, but I'll just let you figure that out. Alhambra Orchard and Apiary, we didn't get anything from the apiary side. We're still good on honey currently. But apples are starting to come on, and we did get two different varieties of apples from Alhambra Orchard and Apiary. So we participated in the orchard side of it. Now, really cool thing about Alhambra is they have a problem from my point of view. I don't know. This might be normal for orchard people. Um, and if it is, somebody please let me know. But something that I think is really cool is that Alhambra has a lot of unique apple varieties. They have um, a lot of apple varieties that are native to Arkansas. They even have a couple, um, and we were talking about this weekend, that they were actually featured in the Arkansas Democrats Gazette several years ago because they found what was thought to be an extinct variety of apple. And they were able to get some cultivars off of that. And so they've got a lot of different and very unique types of apples available. Um, and but what that means is that the apples you're going to find at the market are going to change from week to week, because those trees, they fruit at different times. So as the fruit becomes available, then they bring the apples to market. But just because you found the apple last week, there's no guarantee you're going to get it next week. So, and Steel and Stitches says, I've had apples with lunch all week thanks to them. So yeah, all week. That typo there. I have that problem. My thumbs and my brain very rarely agree on what I'm trying to say. Half the time, my mouth doesn't agree on what I'm trying to say either. So, but yes, Steel and Stitches has been enjoying Alhambra's apples all week. I keep meaning to grab a couple of those and take them to work with me for this week, and I forget to as I'm running out of the house in the morning. But I did try one on Saturday morning, and it was delicious. Um, IR Sweets was at the market this weekend as well, and in addition to the requisite package of nuts for Steel and Stitches, I also got me a Rice Krispie treat, because nothing beats a homemade Rice Krispie treat. They are um, what's the best way I can describe this? So um, my sister's homemade Rice Krispie treats, right up here. Okay, homemade Rice Krispie treats are right here. Now, my sister is my sister. That's why hers are better than everybody else's. But still, homemade Rice Krispie treats, the ones you buy in the store. Okay, the ones you buy in the store are nothing at all compared to the ones that you're going to get that are just homemade. There's just And the crazy thing about it is guys, the recipe on the box is so simple. Rice Krispie treats are butter, marshmallows, and Rice Krispies. That's the recipe. That's how easy they are to make. I don't know why the ones you get from the store don't taste as good. Oh, because they're not buttery. Okay, that could be it. I mean, because butter makes it better. And by butter, I do mean butter, not margarine butter, and not fake, not butter, but actual butter that came from a cow. Well, the milk came from, and you know what I mean. This was someone new. First time I'd seen them at the market. Total Eclipse Coffee. And talked to them for a minute. They're based out of, I believe, Cersei. They're going to try to be at the farmers market. And yeah, Steel and Stitches, chiming in. Yes, that's the difference. The butter, the actual butter, butter. It's good stuff. It's good for you. Um, Actually, I'm not saying that as a medical professional in any stretch of the matter. I just know it tastes better, and it's interesting in baked goods because I haven't done it for a while, but I used to bake a lot of snickerdoodles, and butter and margarine. So most of the time when I would make snickerdoodle, I would make them with butter because butter. Um, but yes, all things in moderation, even butter and bacon. But sometimes I would make some snickerdoodles, and there was one person that I would occasionally make snickerdoodles for, a coworker who was lactose intolerant. And so when I was baking snickerdoodles and I knew that she was going to be having some, I would make a batch with margarine instead. And it's interesting because I could actually bake the two batches side by side and see the difference in the final product. Um, Interestingly enough, just this is just visually the way you can tell the difference is when I was making snickerdoodles. The snickerdoodles that were made with margarine were much puffier than the ones that were made with butter. So um, they still tasted pretty good, but they would just, yeah, just some slight differences like that. So anyway, butter, butter, marshmallows, Rice Krispies. Super simple recipe. Melt the butter, throw the marshmallows in, melt the marshmallows, throw the Rice Krispies in, stir it up real quick because it's going to get thick and cool off really quick. As you do that, stir it up, lay it out in a 9 by 13 pan, spread it out, even it. Something here that's good is that when you unwrap the butter to put the stick of butter in the pan, save that the wrapper that the butter was in. You can use that to press out the uh, the Rice Krispies in the pan to get them of uniform length. And then it's just let them sit and let them cool, and then cut them to the size each like. Super easy recipe. The only part of that recipe that I don't know are the measurements. Um, I think it's like one stick of butter, one package of marshmallows, but I don't know how many Rice Krispies you add. Anyway, Total Eclipse Coffee out of, I believe, Cersei. They're going to try to be at the farmers market every couple of weeks. Um, they do all organic coffee. They roast it fresh themselves and then bag it and bring it to you. And they're also you measure with your heart. Maybe there may be some of that in there. I will agree that there is something to be said for measuring with your heart. I do also think that having a recipe as a guideline is not necessarily a bad thing. Uh, but Total Eclipse Coffee, they're looking at possibly having a subscription box kind of thing coming out this fall. They're working on some details for that. So watch out for that if you're a coffee fan. As you probably know, I enjoy coffee. We were just talking about the multiple trips to Shadrack's over the course of a week that we make. But yeah, I got some coffee from Total Eclipse Coffee, so I can check that out too. Pollard Farms and Homestead was there. Said hi to them. Saw them. they had a selection of their regular sauces and things there. They also had a few new things. Had some pickles and some salsas and some other things that came out of the vegetables in their garden. So it was good to see them as always. Enjoy talking to them and looking and seeing what all kinds of stuff they had. Lucky Seven Lemonade was there, and I'm not saying that I go to Lucky Seven Lemonade often, but it is kind of funny that as I'm walking up to the trailer that she sees me and she just immediately asks me what I want, and because I get the same thing all the time. So, but yeah, she just yeah, but yeah, Lucky Seven Lemonade. It's great lemonade. It's very refreshing. They even have if you're worried about the acidity, if you don't like the acidity of the lemonade, they can actually just do like a flavored water for you and just use the water or use the flavorings that they would normally put in the lemonade with the lemons. They can just put those in water for you, so you get just some nice flavored water and ice to give you a nice refreshing cool drink in the middle of the day. And that's what we do. We kind of do one of each. I like to get a lemonade, and I get Jersey some flavored strawberry water. Larry's Cup of Cream was there, and it was a nice warm day on Saturday. So not only did we get the Lucky Sevens lemonade that you just saw, we also got some root beer floats from Larry's Cup of Cream. So yeah, I had to get the ice cream there to go along, with everything else, and a few people that I couldn't find Facebook pages for, but needed to be mentioned anyway. Puckett's Produce was there. We got pickles from Puckles. Wow, we got pickles from Puckett's Produce. I used to really be good at tongue twisters. Now I'm not so good with tongue twisters because my tongue gets all tangled up. Um, Clover Hill Produce, we got some purple tomatoes. We also got some pear tomatoes, which are they're a tiny tomato, kind of think about the size of a cherry tomato or a grape tomato, except they're yellow and kind of have a fluted shape to them. So I think they almost have almost looks like a hook neck squash minus the hook shape to them. But anyway, just these tiny pear tomatoes. And then we also got some mini tomatoes. Some I would call them. I mean, they were just like super tiny, like marble sized tomatoes. They were really tiny, but they were really tasty. I had quite a few of those from dinner last night. Um, the pickle guy, Rob, the pickle guy he was there and said hi to him. He had pickles and he had salsa too, and he also had some uh, dog treats as well. And I'm being careful saying that word because one of them is laying right next to me. But yeah, they had some dog treats there as well, and we picked up some of those because the dog treats. We thought we'd be nice to the dogs for a change, and get them a treat since we're kind of treating ourselves with all the fresh veggies, and so we grabbed them a few dog treats so they'd have something special too. And then Arkansas was there with their salsa. They actually are debuting a new salsa. Um, they are new to the salsa making, and they're taking a very deliberate approach to it. That they want to, instead of trying to go wide with a lot of different products at once, they are focusing on creating a fantastic product and then building on that for other things. So they had uh, they have their recipe for their regular salsa, which is very flavorful, has a very nice, full, robust flavor to it. It's not spicy. Pretty much anybody can eat it. Um, they got that one, and so now they are working on a spicy salsa, something that's got some more kick to it, a hot salsa, and they haven't quite got it it dialed in where they want. They've got a good um, working model um, that they've been working on refining, and they had a few jars of that there that they were sampling, had samples for people and letting people purchase, some of this early production run. Like he said, he's got it about 85% where he wants it to be. He's just been trying to get some feedback, trying to and and with a hot salsa, there's some balance there because I like spicy food. I like hot food. Um, but I don't like heat just for the purpose of pain. Um, it had, and that's where the balance and the challenge comes in when you're making a food that is hot or as spicy as you have to make sure that you're balancing that heat and make sure that there's flavor that goes along with it. So that's where he was at. He was like looking at, did he have the heat level right? Did he need to, kick it up or drop it down just a little bit, or and wanting to make sure that it still has the flavor with it, that you can still get those that fresh vegetable flavor that you can taste the tomatoes and the onions and things that are in it. So um, yeah, he was working on that. So I had to to try some. It would have been un-American of me not to. But anyway, they're working on that, and I keep giving them a hard time, telling them they need to get a Facebook page. They're working on it, and I'm sure they'll have one soon. But doesn't mean I'm not going to give them a hard time in the meantime. Also on Saturday was National Mead Day, and so we went to Juniper Tree Meadery for National Mead Day because they had a special event going on uh, in to go along with National Mead Day. Excuse me, to go along with National Mead Day, they were having a mead pairing. The mead pairing was with mini cakes from Nothing Bundt Cake or Nothing Bundt Cakes. So you would get four different uh, types of mead, and then they would um, pair those with four different mini Bundt cakes, and so you could enjoy each one of the different varieties together. So that was quite tasty. I really enjoyed it. Um, After we got done with the dessert portion of the event, we went outside to the Mrs. B's Gourmet Grilled Cheese truck and got lunch. Oh, look at that. Hang on a second. And I'll show you a couple of pictures from. Oh, so yeah, this is obviously you can tell that the pairing must have been successful because this is four empty glasses and four empty Bundt wrappers. The only thing that you will notice that's left in the Bundt wrappers is there is a little bit of the frosting that's left in the Bundt wrappers. That's because I'm not a super big frosting guy. I am. Um, I think that the frosting should be an accent to the cake. Um, and and I know that piling 5 inches of frosting with all the different fun colors and swirls and sparkles and things sticking out of it and stuff can make for a really pleasant and attractive display piece. But I just don't need that much frosting. It doesn't do anything to benefit me per se. So yeah, it uh, yes, we started a debate about frosting versus cake that day, And we managed to get about probably we I would say that we had at least half of the people that were in the meadery at that time that we got them to weigh in on the frosting versus cake um, uh, question. So and then this was the POG float, their POG float, which was, and then this was a glass of one of their other meads that they had available that day. And I can't read the stuff down here, the fine print down here on this uh, card to tell you what the I think we still have the card, but I just can't read that to tell you what the pairings were. Um, there, I will say this that no, she's not. Oh, strawberry basil lime is the mead that's on the right, and then the pog float is on the left. Um, and no, she's not right. Um, frosting is an accent for the cake. It is. If you want frosting by itself, come eat cake with me. I'll just give you the frosting. I want a little frosting with my cake because I want to be able to taste the cake. I don't need the cake. I don't need the frosting to be completely overwhelmed by a 1-to-1 ratio of frosting and cake. So this is one of those cases where we have to agree to disagree because she won't agree that I'm right. Saturday evening, continuing on with the busy long day. I was given the opportunity. The Crossing was the host of an event. It was a company event for Carter Express, and the event was catered by the Main Dish. And they had this a comedian came in. Only sociopaths leave icing and drink black coffee. Um, mm, I've been called worse. Anyway, Carter Express had a company event that was held at the Crossing. They catered, Main Dish catered it. They had a David K. I think his name is spelled Kies, or is his pronounced? His last name is Kies, or something similar to that. I'm not sure. We just called him David K. That was the way he introduced himself. He was a stand-up comedian that he was there to provide entertainment for the evening, and I was fortunate enough that I was able to come out and provide music while they were eating dinner, and give them some music and some audio entertainment in the middle of everything else that was going on before David came on the stage. He was definitely the highlight of the night. I really enjoyed listening to him. He was pretty funny guy. And by the way, this is his shirt. I've got gas. Got the shirt from him that night because I thought it was great. And people will see it and think it's funny, and then later, when they complain, I can just tell them that they were warned. After the event closed down at the Crossing, I stuck my head in the door. I didn't stay long. I was only there for about 20 minutes. Just stopped in briefly just to say hi at LA Nights, visit with Robert for a few minutes before I headed home. And then on Sunday, um, Saturday was a really, really long day, so needed a little extra boost on Sunday. So Shadrack's wasn't open, so we went to Scooters. Got coffee at Scooters on Sunday. Had um, I don't even remember what I had, but it was really good. Um, I want to say it was like a iced coffee with half and half, maybe, with an extra shot of espresso in it. Uh, so technically, that day I didn't have black coffee. Uh, but yeah, we did have coffee from Scooters on Sunday, and Slim Chickens for dinner Sunday night with Saturday and Sunday were both pretty busy days for us. So yeah, we were very much all about fast and easy when it came to food on Sunday for sure. And that's it. That's what we did. That was all the excitement and the fun things that we got to do, and the um the ways we got to interact and you know shop and support local businesses over the course of this past week. And um, and I know I've said this before, but I'm going to repeat it because yeah, the last couple of things in there might be you might consider those chains, um, because yeah, well, you went to Slim Chickens and that's not exactly a local business. You went to Scooters, that's not exactly a local business. Shadrack's is a local business. They're based out of Jonesboro. Um, some people think they're getting too big to be called a small business, but they're still a small business, I promise, and they are a local business. Small or not, they are a local business. But the thing is with like Scooters and Slim Chickens, um, yeah, it might not be a business that's built from the ground up, but it is a business. This is a franchise. So the people that own and operate this business are people here in the local community. They hire people in the local community, and this is their business. The only thing is they like basically hired somebody to and who gave them a pre-built building with all of the marketing stuff attached to it. So still is very much a local business. So support your local businesses every chance you get. Take care of your local community. Over the course of the remainder of this week, get out and look around and see how many small businesses and local businesses are around you, and then ask yourself how you can help support your local community through that. Anyway, until we see you on Thursday, on Thursday we'll be talking about what's coming up this weekend. Until then, you guys take care of yourselves, be safe, and we will talk to you soon. Good night, everybody.